Hello VC, hello family, hello friends, hello world. It's the 9th of July, Wednesday. I'm playing this absolutely gorgeous album, Crossings, not Crossings, Mwandishi. Crossings was the one after this. Herbie Hancock. I'm going to turn this down because it is on Warner Brothers and the copyright police will be up my ass. They will. You didn't get permission. We don't want people to hear it. You're not paying. Hey folks, I think I'm gonna try to follow up here or just talk a little bit more. I like it when people want to hear more on my thoughts. I saw a comment from Mr. Data Code, I think, on my response to Diva Rada's contest. He was wondering what I thought more on the human psyche I think. It's really just a continuation of what I was saying there. I'm going to see if something comes together here, okay? Because I'm always thinking about this stuff. That way I know I'm not normal. Is that it really seems like it's normal to just disconnect and just kind of float around or something, or just really be in the moment and I don't know what it's like. My mind is always active. But it appears that that's not normal. And if that's the case, I'm very happy I'm not normal. Very happy I'm not normal. Because it appears that normal people are the ones that are wrecking this planet, having wars, fighting each other down in Brazil, literally because of a game, people burning their national flag, threatening people from another country. So that's just so idiotic, it's human, but it's just idiotic, it's like, this is what I was saying about my observation that in general, it seems that average people do not employ the act of observation very much. In other words, I'll use some examples. So for example, the World Cup. Germany just won the World Cup. The World Cup was in Brazil. Obviously, because it's in Brazil, if Brazil had won, that would have meant a lot. Brazil lost, okay? I'd like to say that if I were down there and it happened, I'd like to think that I'd have enough power of observation to realize I'm not happy about, if I'm Brazilian, I'm not happy about losing, but it's certainly not going to help anything. It's not going to help our cause or anyone's cause to get mad at the Germans and attack them. A bit of observation and calming oneself down could also, I think, lead people to question, well, what's the point of burning the Brazilian flag because they lost? What is that accomplishing, It's like you're making a protest, which you're free to do, but what's it really accomplishing? That to me is why I say that human behavior to me is really predictable, and the fact, and a big part of it appears to be that a lot of people don't seem to be operating with any self-awareness. They just pop off and get blindsided by things, and just seems like walking with like this, blindfolded to, the connection between the mind and the heart and everything. Which leads me to talk more about the Middle East, this mess over in the Middle East, Gaza, the Israelis and the Palestinians. No one is thinking, and this is my observation about the behavior. It would appear to me that if people wanted to settle things over there, wouldn't it be helpful to try to get a discussion based on the needs of now rather than staying stuck on the past and this happened and that happened and we got to fulfill this and we got to fulfill that? I mean, it's like if you really wanted peace or really wanted to settle things, then it would be reflected in the conversations, by the leaders and in the media and in the news. Nothing in the news and the media and what the politicians are saying is saying anything about human needs, about peace. You break it down, and it's all about what people are trying to get, and this agenda, this old agenda. Okay. To connect that to music, that's again why I took the point that I did of saying, I'm not going to say I don't get it. Some music I just think is just awful. It's not that I don't get it. I can see why people like it. I'll just say I think it's awful, okay? That's different than not getting it. I can get why people like Gangnam Style. Well, the stupidest shit I've ever heard, you know? But I understand why people just very idiotically, and I will say it like that, just like a child, just, you know, I get it, you know. I didn't watch any of the other videos all the way through. I heard Roger start to talk about how he doesn't get the Beach Boys. Well, what's there to discuss? I mean, it's like, what is there to discuss? You know, the craftsmanship of the Beach Boys music is there, you know. To me, it makes sense that if it doesn't relate to your lifestyle, you know, or what is important to you, what's hard to understand about that, you know? That some music and art, there's going to be a lot of music and art that doesn't resonate with your inner world, which is what you're living in. You know, we're all living in the world through our lenses, okay? So that's why I just, I mean it. It's like, I can hear music and I'll just think, this is the worst crap I've heard. But I understand, I can literally, psychologically understand why another person would be getting into it. I can. So, you know, and that's part of what I'm saying I understand about human behavior. You know, it's like everyone's filter is slightly different. And it just seems like if you could somehow teach that a little more universally, to recognize, to understand that everyone is seeing the world through their lenses, and it's not possible for everyone to experience everything the same thing. So if you can keep that in mind while you're going about your business with other people, that could possibly lower the threshold of unnecessary conflict. Are you following me, okay? This is where I'm coming from. You know, it's like literally everything is an idea or a concept made manifest. It doesn't mean it's right or real or we're supposed to follow it. Just think about that, you know? Think about how everything has gotten set up over history. There's been reasons, but it's not that those reasons were the best or right or wrong, but it's like, this is what happened. You just take a step back and look at it and say, okay, I see how we got this far on this Trail of Tears. Had someone made a decision in this direction, or maybe someone saw something over here, it'd be a whole different story. But it's like I'll have conversations with a lot of folks, and it's like they never question the world the way they see it. It never enters their mind that, you know, what they're operating on is a cumulative experience. It doesn't mean it's real. And that's where all this conflict comes from, is because people don't even question it. They just, just assume that their life experience is what life is, and then they come in contact with someone where that's not the case, and here we have this conflict. I think it's stupid. I think that it's also why I'm really down on corporate thinking. I'm down on governments, because they engineer the masses for the profit and the benefit of the few. I mean, if things were, this is my opinion, but I'm saying it strongly, if leaders really cared about progress, then many more decisions that would be sacrificial towards profit would be made for the benefit of moving the entire population ahead. America in particular has really suffered as a result of the American education system deciding to stop teaching people how to think and just focusing on the bottom line of keeping places open and keeping the money flowing. it's a direct result that we can see in society now. We have a lot of people that don't know how to think. They react. I see it in my own kids. I'm not down on them, but I'm just saying it's more the general level of the general tenor of society, which is the main thing that people do is consume. That seems to be the bottom line of what corporate America has wanted, which is we don't want thinking individuals. We want consumers, mindless consumers, to just spend and make us rich. And the fallout of that thinking and that mentality is the current world state that we're in. Pardon me. And it appears to me another example of the fact that we live in the bubble is that people who still have it going pretty good, people who have a fairly good economy, are oblivious. I was having a conversation yesterday on Facebook about the Monsanto thing, and one friend comes up talking about how he heard good points on both sides from the scientists, etc., which is fine, and I'm not disputing that. But to me, that obscures the larger issue, which is that the corporations are killing people for the benefit of their pockets, and that is just so clear. And so it's just frustrating, and it really, really angers me how people will still think it's defensible that corporations and things that are being done, they're saying one thing, well, this is going to help mankind, but when you really look at what's going on, it's like it's not helping anybody. It's a trickle-down thing. It's like if they say it's helping mankind, it's because, well, we'll make money now, and maybe in 50 years there'll be a beneficial effect after all this time. I'm just calling that. That's bullshit from my perspective, okay? It has nothing to do with, in my opinion, intelligence based on human benevolence. It's selfish and greedy, and it's based on that bubble that people live in. It's like, I've got mine. I don't even know, what I'm saying, like a rich man, that never steps foot in my neighborhood or some of the even poorer neighborhoods. They have no idea. So it's not even a reality to them, okay? This is what I'm talking about. That relates to music. We live in the mind. And so whatever the mind conceives as its world, everything that corresponds with that is what fits in. There are people who have experiences where gospel music is the right music. Country music is the right music. Hip-hop. Folks that live in different parts of the world and their native musics. Some of that neat music from Turkey. The folk music that, that's what's normal, It seems that it's normal for people to not think about these things. And I think it'd be good to be teaching these kinds of things. Seems like there was a time when we were attempting to teach these things so that people could have a broader perspective and an ability to step outside of their box. I know that helps me to try to do that. I know that as a human that I can be obnoxious, I can be trying, I can be a lot of things that can get on the nerves of others. But I try to be aware of that so that I don't have to be completely out of pocket with people. You know what I'm saying? I know when to pull back. I have ego. I'm selfish. I want things. I want to tell my story. But if I take the time to observe, I'll realize sometimes, okay, I'm a little overbearing. It's time for me to shut up. Maybe I need to go away. I'd love to see more of that in this world. There's not enough of it. There's not. And the conflicts that are ongoing in this world have nothing to do with resolving anything. They have nothing to do with trying to find peace. They have nothing to do with serving the needs of mankind. And it's a shame to me that people who are benefiting, or from their purvey, their view, that what they need or what they want, they're getting, so they'll say, oh, everything's just fine. That's what I mean about we live in the mind. And it's not that anyone is right or wrong, but it's more a matter of what is effective and what is beneficial. It seems like there's always ways to do things that could be less harmful and more beneficial. And that's why I say that I don't see progress in this world. I see people progressing towards getting what they want, but I don't see progress towards mankind healing itself. That's what I want to share further in regards to what I was riffing on, Mr. Data Code.